Hello, this is Dan Farisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator, joining you for another one of our pre-ISE discussions with one of the leading exhibitors at the show. A lot of people are excited to check out what Korbyt is going to be doing at ISE this year. Hall 6, booth number 6K710. I'm delighted to be joined by Andrew Gildin, who is Vice President, Channel Sales and Revenue Operations with Korbyt. Thank you so much, Andrew, for being here today to apprise Commercial Integrators audience and me about everything that the company has in store for ISE this year.
Right. Thanks for having me, Dan. I know we're really excited.
As am I, and I know I can't wait to check out the booth. And we want to give some information to our audience about why they should be checking out the Korbyt booth, the show. But before we get into those specifics, I just want to get your top line sense of ISE 2023, your excitement, Korbyt's excitement about being back in person, back in Barcelona, engaging with the AV community, engaging with your industry partners. How meaningful is that?
Personally, I'm really excited. This is my first ISE. So this is my first chance to go to the show. On top of that, I'm really excited to meet a lot of those colleagues that are over in Europe and different parts of the world that I haven't met in person yet. With all of the shows ramping back up over the last year, this is my first opportunity to meet a lot of people in person. So I'm really excited about that. And then just generally as a great opportunity to see what our hardware, what our technology and software partners, as well as our integrator partners are going to be sharing as we enter 2023.
I couldn't agree more. I'm incredibly excited to be heading out there, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now let's turn to what Korbyt has in store. And I have to say, I know I'm excited just from our little pre-briefing about what you have, and I can't wait to hear in your own words for our audience what it is. We talked a little bit about, for example, extending digital signage solutions across environments, an omni-channel approach. We talked about machine learning, AI. Give me a sense of what Korbyt is most excited to share with the ISE showgoer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, starting at the top of what you just mentioned, omni-channel approach, it's been a big part of the growth of our platform and the conversations we're having with customers. As you can imagine, coming out of COVID, coming into a continued acceleration into the hybrid workplace, being able to reach people where they are, when they are, how they like to consume content is a huge part of really the communications strategy overall for a lot of our customers. And we've been really working very closely with them as they're working through their strategies to help them think of digital signage really as a way to reach everybody from an omni-channel perspective, right? People oftentimes think about digital signage as menu boards or something that they see behind a reception desk or an experiential item. What you really can start expanding that digital signage and getting an increased value to that content management system is thinking about how do you take that content and push it to the desktop application? Are the folks who are in the office 3 days a week seeing the same content when they're at home as when they're in the office? Or even a mobile platform, right? How do we start having that two-way communication utilizing the same content management system that you've been typically using for digital signage? Right? Are we seeing that people are interacting with it? Are we seeing that they're not interacting with it? Once you have those analytics and those abilities to have those conversations, you really can change what kind of content you're putting out there and really ensure that what you're putting together is engaging, informing, and driving the conversations that you want to. And that just goes across the board, right? It's digital signage, it's meeting room signage, it's desktop, it's mobile, it's the web. It's really across the board.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, what we want to do is facilitate meaningful experiences, real engagement across a host of different environments. We don't want to do anything, particularly with related to signage, in a perfunctory manner. We want to have it be mindful and effective and yield the results that we want. And it seems like that's something you're really on the cutting edge of, facilitating that.
Exactly. And I think that leads really well into the machine learning and AI conversation, right? When we look at digital signage and how do we drive that conversation, a lot of it is about making it dynamic, right? When we talk about driving behavior, ensuring our content remains fresh, right? If you're putting the same content out there day after day, month after month, people are going to start ignoring it. That's just the reality of the world we live in and how much content and the attention spans that people have for content nowadays. If you can really make that content dynamic, whether that's taking information about HR information, about employee recognition, and making that drive content. Or maybe it's behavioral on the supply chain floor, to make sure that content is really driving what you want it to do and driving that productivity. Or even starting to think about, how do we make content generated via machine learning or AI. A lot of what we're hearing about in the news from a technology perspective is GPT, right? We're all talking about that. That's a big part of the conversation. How do we start generating content from our content management systems and using all of the data, all of the information, all of the content that we have, and analytics that we have, to start generating content, so it's not dependent upon a single communicator for 10,000, 20,000 employees to think of really cool or interesting or engaging content, right? They have those ideas, but it's also about, how do we make their job a lot easier, and how do we use the other systems that we have in place and the other information that we have in place to drive that dynamically.
So I think there might be one additional piece of the puzzle here, one additional prong of what Korbyt is most excited about at ISE this year, to do with the extensions that you're involved with. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So a big part of our platform is being able to integrate with different systems in order to drive that content. So whether we're integrating with contact centers, right, your back-end telephony systems to ensure we're driving the behavior that you're looking for. I mentioned previously HR systems to drive employee engagement, or supply chain systems, right? Your ERP, your systems like Power BI or Tableau, in order to drive behavior on a plant floor. These are the types of things that are really taking digital signage to the next level, right? We've got our content, our communications content, our health and safety content. All of these pieces are part of it, and that's table stakes. Taking that content, integrating with those other systems, doing it in a way that's configurable and scalable and growable, and really makes digital signage part of the overarching technology ecosystem that a customer has. That really is going to be what takes that digital signage to the next level, and it's going to be what allows digital signage to become business critical content and business critical function, as opposed to a nice to have.
So as we begin to wrap up the conversation, I want to get a sense from your perspective, from Korbyt's perspective, how you're going to judge ISE 2023 in retrospect. Do you have key goals or objectives that you're approaching the show with? And how are you going to be able to tell in retrospect whether it's been a successful show?
Yeah, absolutely. So a big part of it for us is our go-to-market strategy is really partner-centric, right? Whether that be the AV integrator, whether that be our hardware partners, our technology partners. So a big part for us is spending time engaging with those partners. And one of the things that we did recently is join the PS&I Alliance. So the opportunity for us to have our first ISE as part of PS&I, to really engage with those partners and have some meaningful conversation about how we drive their strategy in 2023. That's going to be a big part of our goals, and what's going to make this successful for us. But a lot of it's also going to be really having those conversations with those customers, right? What are those end users seeing? What do they want to see? And how do we ensure that our strategy, our roadmap, and all of those pieces are really driving in the same direction as our customers? One of the exciting things about being a software company and doing it and being able to adjust and grow and do so and develop in an agile manner is we get to have those conversations with our customers or potential customers, and that allows us to drive what we are doing in the market. That's really one of those exciting things. So the more of those kinds of conversations that we have, the better. So really, it's just about those conversations with our partners and our potential customers to ensure that we're having a successful ISE.
Well, Andrew, I have to say, in just the 10 minutes or so we've been speaking, you've given a lot of information. And I know if I were an ISE showgoer, not just a media member covering the show, I'd be very excited to check out the Korbyt booth in Hall 6, booth number 6K710. But in the run up to the show, until we get there, how can people find out more about Korbyt?
Yeah, absolutely. So please visit korbyt.com, KORBYT.com. If you go there, you can reach out and contact us, and the team will follow up with you, or just feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Glad to follow up with you from there.
Well, thank you once again, Andrew Gildin, Vice President, Channel Sales and Revenue Operations with Korbyt, for taking some time to inform not only me, but also Commercial Integrator's broad audience about everything we can look forward to seeing at the Korbyt booth at ISE 2023 in Barcelona. Really appreciate the time investment.
Thanks, Dan. It was really great chatting with you.
Likewise. My name is Dan Farisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. Please check back on commercialintegrator.com each and every day in the run-up to the show and throughout the ISE show for more exciting show-related content just like this.